105 North Avenue, 52.
Prepare to be fucked by the object of the law.
This isn't happening. Everyone look away, please. Nothing to see here.
You can't break those cuffs.
Make him away, Ty.
Welcome to Thought Cops, the only podcast where every week we police the mean streets of the internet because, hey, somebody's got to do it. And then we let you be the judge, the jury, and the executioner in the court of public opinion. Coming to you live from Neo Chicago. I'm Officer Kevin.
I'm Officer Grant.
What's up, Grant?
What's up?
All right, then. Let's give a thank you to our guest from last week, Witten. A.K.A. Bonnie Darko, A.K.A. Witten.
Gay with your dad.
Gay with your dad.
So many names, so many.
Yeah.
I didn't think of the end of that sentence. I just figured I'd start it and that it'd sort of end itself, and it didn't.
You didn't feel like drinking a coffee before we started or anything like that?
This is my personality.
Oh, I think I would have picked up on that by now. That's weird. Anyway, we got a brand new guest to the show. Let's give a warm welcome to Greg.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
What's up, Greg? How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you, Kevin? How are you, Grant?
Good.
If you don't know who I am, why would you? I went to college with Kevin.
I can explain. I did advertise
You have
the
this?
episode.
Okay, you did. I saw that. Yeah.
I said the guest has a mysterious connection to one of the hosts. Which is to say that sorry, this might be a little awkward, Grant, and I apologize in advance, but
I don't care.
Greg is my ex-podcast host.
I'm cool with it if you are, Grant. Like, I know it's a little strange, but I can get past it. I'm an adult, you know. Yeah, it's true. Kevin and I did a podcast where with our other friend Austin, where we got drunk in our buddy's garage and talked about movies.
That's right. And that podcast was
people are saying post the link.
Dungeon.
It doesn't exist. It's gone.
there is one episode. People did find it at one point.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah, and they some people who listen to this show found it and they said they liked it.
That's cool. Well, I'm glad they liked it. Yeah, it was called The Film Dungeon. If you want to find it, it might be out there somewhere.
I could put them up at some point if we really wanted to. I suppose we have to kind of run that by Austin for sure.
Yeah.
But
Grant, is that okay with you? It's your show. I don't want to fucking take it over. What's the name, yes. Kevin? You say it.
Oh, this one? No, it was called Film Dungeon. It was called something else at one other point.
Yeah, it was. But that's okay. We don't need to talk about that.
But I thought it'd be fun to get you on here, man.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate it, man. I haven't talked to you in forever anyway. And Grant was there when we saw The Disaster Artist, so I've met you exactly once for like 5 seconds.
Oh, that's right.
Right, yeah.
And I also want to say as well that Grant was one of our only listeners
That's
to that
true,
show.
he was,
That is true.
It was pretty much just like our friends listening to be nice to us.
Yeah, this is back
we
in
got like a couple random
2014.
haters. Remember that? Like some random like Russian guy would show up and be like, "Eat shit, you fucks." We'd be like, "All right."
Yeah, we got that here, but it's a German.
Hey, yeah, someone posted it. There it is. In the with the little icon there is Alex from Clockwork Orange being forced to watch Medea movies.
Yep,
I forgot about that.
Possibly the worst artwork ever. I threw it together in an afternoon.
I like it.
Yeah,
it's not the 666 cruiser.
No,
and he notices our SoundCloud is only following one account, and it's Maddox.
Yes,
again, this was a different time,
very different
place. You know, the world has since
2015? That's what
I was like 2014 to 2015. I want to say
it had to be later than that. Yeah.
We did it for a couple years.
Yeah, we did it for quite a long time.
Yeah, it was.
I think Austin actually he was going to come on this show once, and then it didn't work out for some reason. Yeah.
One of these days we'll have to. Yeah, I know we've been saying that pretty much like since we started this.
Yeah, we could do like all of us. That'd
be
fun. Yeah, that would be fun. And Grant can be there too, I guess.
Fans of Film Dungeon also like Anime Pussy, Cox and Crendor Show, and Rice Pirate Mick.
Well, okay, Grant, that's you. You are our fan, so explain yourself, please.
Yeah.
I like all those things.
All right, checks out.
All good.
Yeah.
I've heard of the podcast Anime Pussy, but
oh, it's a podcast? Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway, we're happy to finally get this worked out, have you on the case with us this week. Also, I wanted to have you on the show because I know like before we started Film Dungeon, we were kind of pitching ideas about what the podcast would be, and then you and I were internet junkies. For lack of a better term, and we I guess kind of like the original idea, where like we almost pitched at one point was almost going to be somewhat like this show. We're like, interested in internet culture. And then I don't know, we just decided to go movie based.
Yeah, that was sort of an Austin thing. He wanted to talk about movies real bad, and you wanted to do a podcast real bad. So I was like, we can all do that.
And then you were the man who made it happen.
Yeah, so that was fun.
Along with our friend Tom. Who
Tom. I still talk to Tom all the time. He's on Discord, probably not now, but
nice.
He's busy with his family and stuff, though. He has a kid. No life and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So he can't really record podcasts for us every week anymore. It was really generous of him to do that in the first place.
Truly was.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. All this times, I feel like things haven't changed all that much. Still in a room recording a podcast.
I mean, there's like a virus and like all that, but other than that, nothing's really that different from that.
Yeah, otherwise, it's relatively the same.
You seem to have made a podcast name for yourself somewhat. I was looking at some of the other guests you've had on this show, and it's funny that I'm even here at all.
I mean, it's whatever. I mean, like, I don't know. Grant and I never really have any hierarchy of people we want to get on the show.
Right.
So. For sure.
I mean, people are just people, and it is one of those things that when we started doing it, we'd have just like a bunch of friends and like, people like that coming on, and then we'd have some bigger names and stuff like that. But I know like every time we're sort of like, oh, like who should we have on for an episode? We'll like go back to some of the old guests and stuff like that. And I know a lot of people sometimes are a little more apprehensive because it's like, oh, we're a little bit bigger now, sort of thing, which is just like in my mind, it makes no difference. But I understand.
Yeah,
I get it.
As long as the conversation's good and the
well, I'm ready, baby.
Cold,
I read that Google Doc. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that.
Yeah, we got a whole backlog of filth to get through.
It's like we're covering a lot today.
Yeah, well, a lot of that's a bank for future episodes. But
totally.
We got a lot of good stuff for today, though. That's for sure. Before we get to that, though, I want to go over some show news. Twitch.tv/ThoughtCops. Every Wednesday night, every Sunday night from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you don't live in that time zone, do the math, figure it out. It's been a lot of fun. This week, I did a stream. I was playing Smash Brothers with some friends of mine, as well as some listeners. I threw out a room code, and we were playing Smash for like 2 or 3 hours and streaming it. That was a lot of fun. And Grant, last night, you were recording Paper Mario, or streaming Paper Mario, and Charles Carroll, former guest of the show, raided the stream, and then all of a sudden 200 people were watching you play Paper Mario.
Although I handled it better this time because he did that last time I was streaming, and or like one of the last couple times I was streaming, he raided the channel, and I was in the middle of a Breath of the Wild boss, and I had no idea what I was doing, and it was embarrassing. But this time it was good. I was also I was simulcasting. I was doing the Twitch chat, and I was live on TikTok to try and get some people to come over.
Cool.
Yeah,
damn.
I had the phone here and then the laptop here, and I was looking at both.
What a banner night for us, or rather for you, I suppose.
That's pretty awesome.
Well, it's all live on TikTok. I put twitch.tv/ThoughtCops, and I was like, hey, if you're watching this, go watch it over there. Don't watch me sitting here on a couch. Go on there, make an account, and follow us.
You're trying to reprogram the TikTok users, like, they're watching you, man. China's on to you. Get on over to Twitch where no one cares.
Right. Get over to Twitch where the American government spies on you.
Good old
Yeah.
America.
Try being
Weren't we going to
patriotic.
ban TikTok last year?
I thought so, yeah.
I swear that was a
never
thing,
happened.
and then they just didn't.
It was.
Yeah, I'm for it. Not for any political reason, but I just like anything that makes people happy. I'm down to take it away.
Well, Grant, I know you just put out a new video. Was it dudes from Chicago related to the Batman film shooting? And I want to
Indeed.
specify film shooting.
Indeed, yeah. I did. There were a couple times when I was walking down the street and I said, as I was recording, I said, "Do you know they shot Batman here?" And I was like, no, not the right, not the right. But yeah, I just walked around and found there's a handful of locations downtown. They're pretty easy. You know, I've been walking around a lot, so it's easy to just take out the camera and say, "Hey, do you know they filmed Batman here?" And so I did that, and it's doing numbers.
Nice.
Awesome.
So that's
So you hook them that way, then you make them watch a video game.
Play
basically.
Paper Mario. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Off screen, just like a camera of you. Was the game visible?
No.
Okay.
But I kept telling them, I was like, "Hey, you're looking at me. Why not watch Paper Mario? Why not go over to Twitch?"
Get the whole deal over at twitch.tv/thoughtcops.
And they answer the link, and they get the podcast equivalent of the movie Videodrome.
And we also have if we're a Twitch affiliate or whatever the terminology is. So if you got Twitch
Prime, or
if you have Twitch Prime, which is if you have Amazon Prime, link it to your Twitch account for free. It's free money. Throw it our way every month. We'll take it, and it's a lot of fun. You know, people kind of like, you know, it's interactive, chill, whatever, man.
it's a vibe.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of vibing, we were talking before the recording, we're almost at 500 subscribers on YouTube.
Good point.
We put all the episodes up on YouTube, but we also got our videos on there. Some of the stuff we've been shooting over the last couple years. You know what I was thinking about, Grant?
No.
Our videos are underrated.
Yeah.
And I truly...
The whole podcast is underrated.
I truly believe this. I truly do. I was thinking about the meme museum video today, and I'm like, man, I spend so much time on that, and like I'm typically pretty critical of my work, but I was like I'm pretty proud of that one, and honestly all the other ones too, but like that one in particular, I feel like I was like, this is it.
I also feel like...
Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, there was one video I liked from like forever ago, where you covered the people who Naruto ran around Trump Tower.
Yeah,
for some reason.
classic.
Yeah, that was a funny one. That was a good one.
And I feel like, that one was like a little, whatever, rougher by comparison. But I do think
it's an older one. Like you guys were just starting.
Oh yeah,
I think. Yeah.
It was like almost 4 years ago we did that.
Yeah, just about 4 or 5 years ago.
And yeah, it was just an event like that, man. You know, lightning in a bottle.
Right.
It doesn't matter how bad the video is. It's you have to see it, folks.
Man, that's where I look at like some of the TikTok shit, and it's like I'm glad that it's like working for what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to fucking use it to get more listeners for the podcast, more subscribers to the YouTube. I have like all the links in like a link tree, you know, for that shit. But it is like insane to me. It's almost angering to me that I think the Dave Matthews Band video where I talked about the poop bridge has, I think, 600,000 views. And it's just like, man, to get a quarter of that on YouTube would be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And it's just like that they don't, these websites don't all fucking work the same. So a lot of times it's just you fucking throw shit at a wall, or you dump 800 pounds of shit onto an unsuspecting tourism boat, and you just hope something fucking lands. But it is one of those things where it's like, yeah, man, like some of those videos, it's like I relate more to like the re-educationing shit than I do to fucking, did you know they filmed Batman here? But like nonetheless, it's like if that fucking works to get people to watch the re-educationing videos, like fuck it, like what I'll sell out. Just watch our stuff. We work hard on it.
If you build it, they will come. If you, Grant, build it, they will come.
If you have what's that website? If you have an OnlyFans, they will come.
And that's a funny
I'm
thing.
pretty sure that was the original line, that one. I don't remember anything about building anything in that movie.
What was Field of Dreams?
Yeah.
Pretty sure that was OnlyFans in the outfield, was it?
Field of Creams.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. I was like, oh boy, got to make a match. There it is. Field of Creams.
No, perfect. Yes.
On that note, let's move right along to a very famous, very favorite segment of the show, 2 Minutes of Hate, where we like to blanket punish all that annoying random crap that we see on the internet every single week. My 2 minutes of hate this week is the another Twitter format post where people post pictures of typically what was their childhood or their teenage years, and it says, "You had to be there," or it's the "You had to be there" starter pack. And it's another one of these where, oh, you grew up around this time? Oh, me too. 1997? Oh, yeah, me, 1998. Well, that's about the same. You know, we've talked about this kind of thing on the show before, and I think the reason that this one gets under my skin even a little bit more is that I'm seeing Zoomers doing it. So not only does it make me feel extra old, but also Zoomers tend to be very hypercritical of people who act this way, like millennials or Gen Z or whatever, who are obsessed with like nostalgia or whatever, kind of posting about this stuff. And then now, you know what? Guess this, the older end of the Zoomer generation is, doing the same thing. You had to be there. And they're posting like fucking like,
stuff from 2 years ago.
Yes, it was in middle school. Oh yeah, Minecraft and Gangnam Style or whatever. And it's like, oh yeah, man, I was in college.
To be fair, you had to be there for Gangnam Style.
Yeah, you really had to, man.
How would you miss out on all those amazing parodies, Kevin?
You know me, man. I was a huge fan. Huge.
Do you remember that, though, for real? Like, it was just nothing but Gangnam Style parodies, like, for everywhere. Oh, awful.
It was awful.
But you didn't have to be there. Like, you could have missed it. You're good.
And I think that's actually a good punishment, just to kind of keep it succinct, is you didn't have to be there. You didn't miss anything. This is just life. Life goes on, all right? I know it's important to, hold on to these precious memories, but you don't have to. They're not even pictures you took. You're just Googling pictures of things that existed in 2007 and posting a, 2x2 image grid on Twitter and saying, look, Nintendo DS.
Look, I Googled this.
Zoomies.
Yeah.
Look.
What would ours be, like a Pokemon Snap printer? And even if I did that, and it's like you had to be there, someone born in like the early 80s is just laughing at me because they have a stupid thing they were there for.
And that's the thing too, is it's like if you weren't there, if you weren't that exact age at that exact time, you're getting laughed out of the room.
Yeah.
No one's
embarrassed, really.
Speaking of embarrassment, Greg, anything that's bothering you? Anything you want to get off your chest?
Sure. I don't know exactly how common this is on Twitter, I guess, but I see it on the internet generally, and it really annoys me when people imitate the voices of pets, and they make them like they do this dumb voice, and they put in like a bunch of pet puns. There's one person specifically, I won't name them. They're doing it with the president's dog.
We've already
the oval. No, you have it's that one. Oh. Stop it!
Ahead,
like they don't like. They're like, my dad purposefully signed. It's the dogs wouldn't talk like that if they were talking. I don't think.
Before we started this recording, I saw somebody had a picture of the Oval Office, and they did an awful
Photoshop the dogs in. Yeah, that's. Yeah, I was scrolling around for something to hate, and that's what I found. So I was like, I'm going after this.
Terrible, man.
Yes, the Oval Office. Sure, fuck them. Don't harass them or anything, but like, fuck them.
It just makes, I realize that dogs don't have, the superior intelligence of human beings, but it makes them sort of sound stupider that they know English, but they purposefully,
it reminds
say
me
words
of,
wrong.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you there. Go ahead.
No, just that, they're smart enough to know English, but they purposefully say these words wrong, that they can't get over the hump of saying, hello without it being hello or whatever the fuck, dude, you sound like you're making dogs sound dumber than they are, and they don't even talk.
Yeah, for sure. Do you guys remember lolcats? It was a big thing. Icon has cheeseburger.
Oh, you had to be there.
Yeah, sure. It could. You didn't again, but you'd read the comments on those, and people would comment typing in that language, and it was annoying. I don't like.
Can I has hamburger?
Yeah, I can. Or purposefully misspelling every word in cutesy ways.
And listen, I think, and I've said it before, I think animals are quite intelligent in a different way, animals, puppies, kittens, they know, like, they're like 3 weeks old, and they know how to exist and survive, and to a smaller extent than they would be when they're like a year or two old. But like, how long does it take a baby to figure out how to feed itself or fucking walk or anything like that? We're the ones who should be talking like.
Well, the process takes longer because we have larger brains and we have like complex things like language and like technology and stuff like that we have to sort of overcome.
They have language to some extent, growling,
like
barking.
gestures.
Yeah,
I don't know if
they
you
can make
consider
noises,
that a language.
but they don't really have language.
And I try to take into account. It's like I get it. Cats and dogs have like a seventh of the length of lifespan as human beings. So I tried to even in my brain do the math. And even still, where humans are coming out, on the bottom on this one.
Yeah, so that's my 2 minutes of hate.
Did you have a punishment for anybody like this? These people who are
I don't know,
pretending. Yeah,
something like unnecessarily harsh. Like,
I'll go off, please.
Like, you're not allowed to use fossil fuels anymore. Like,
hey, that should be everybody's punishment.
Yeah, that should be everybody's punishment, 100%. But if we're gonna live in the world we live in now, like, just make their life really inconvenient, I guess. But in a way that's desirable. They also have to eat crickets, which we as a society should be doing objectively more, but no one wants to. They're gonna have to deal with that. They're gonna be the guinea pigs.
Be in the back of Snowpiercer.
Yes.
What were you gonna say, Grant?
I think we have 25 years until all life on Earth is half of life
just
on
about.
Earth is extinct.
We don't have long. Yeah.
25 years. So.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure to.
That's a lot of pressure for this podcast to be a complete commercial success.
We have to lose 30 subscribers by then.
I hate that that's the first thing both of our minds went to. It's like, oh, the planet's going to fucking die out in 25 years.
I hope I didn't waste all of my time.
Oops.
Well.
Oh, yeah. Grant, what do you got for us?
Okay, this has been sitting in the dock for a while, and I've been meaning to get to it, and I just haven't been able to because other things pop up. But this is a good time to talk about it. And I don't know how to. I don't know the phraseology of what I'm gonna say, but I'll just call it. This ties into the stupid animal talk. Stupid human talk, and more specifically, alt-right baby talk.
For sure.
And I don't know if it's necessarily alt-right. Like, I'm saying it because I think if you say that, people know what you're talking about.
I knew immediately.
That's sort of like 4chan-y, sort of like, I'll give you an example. Watching the debate, watching President Trump, do the debate. Mommy made me chicken nuggies and chalky milk.
Oh, for sure.
That is 4chan kind of like, that's like a meme, it's like the basement dwelling, chicken tender eating,
man children,
and
essentially, yes.
Yeah,
who are also insanely violent and will murder you if they can,
Yeah, and it's been like adapted by. I feel like I've seen like the whatever the fuck a groiper is. I feel like I see them talk like that all the time, which is just like you have a cartoon frog avatar of something that's just like painfully 2014. You have a cartoon frog avatar. You're talking about chicken nuggies and chalky milk, and you're saying milky mommy milky, give me milkers.
What?
And it's just like,
I haven't heard that last one.
It's come up, unfortunately. But it's one of those things where it's like, are you legitimately like developmentally not all there, or like, there's got to be a point with some of the shit where it's like, you're not putting this on. You're acting like a baby, and you are a baby. And you know what? I think the punishment is you get your toys taken away. All the stuff you post on Twitter, you do your like whatever, your anti-Semitism shit or whatever people are doing nowadays. You do that and you say,
sure,
do whatever hate crime. I'll be sitting back enjoying a chalky milk. You get your toys taken away. You just you get your Twitter taken away. You get your Twitter, all your social media. You get your free speech taken away. You don't get to play with your toys anymore.
The Bill of Rights no longer applies to you.
No, it does. Because the Bill of Rights applies to adults.
Yeah. You tried, you failed. You don't get it anymore.
Yeah.
You think there's a parent who like just doesn't know how to punish their kid because they're like, what does my kid enjoy? So they're like, that's it. You're grounded from 4chan for 1 month.
No, but
Yeah. It's possible.
Pepe just dropped.
No more Fortnite.
Oh, that would be rough for him.
Yeah,
No
that's
more.
the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, I haven't been to
I-
4chan in too long to remember.
IONetrunner says this might be Reddit shit.
Yeah, that's that. I was going to say
about.
that. Someone at the chat is calling you out here.
I don't know what exactly
too, by
it
the
is.
way, so.
I've seen it. I've seen it particularly more with like alt-righty sort of like, again, whatever the fuck a groiper is. I don't want to look it up. I don't
know what that is, and I don't
Please
care.
no
Yeah.
one tell
Pepe.
me.
It's like this deformed Pepe.
But it's like a thing. It's like a like the people that follow whoever Nick Fuentes is.
I know that guy,
Like
yeah.
his fans are called groipers, and I just
okay.
know that they're all like
Okay.
watching Nick Fuentes' stream, eating chicken nuggies and chalky milk. Like that's where I'm seeing
Yeah,
this.
I definitely
and I just
know.
want to
Yeah.
claw my fucking
I
eyeballs
have a
out.
question
Like,
about him if we're going to talk. Like, why does he have the
can.
little Twitter check? Who had Twitter is like, yeah, this guy.
People who make money off controversy
Oh, yeah,
and
that's-
outrage.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a very easy
Us.
question. I guess.
I think also he notoriously blocks anybody that says basically anything to him. So I think he's playing like the play it safe game of like, you know, I said something about cat boys once and he like blocked me immediately. Like anybody that says anything, I'm assuming he's just like, well, if someone's going to say something negative, they're going to report my account and I don't want my account taken down. So, you know, I'm just going to block everybody. So.
You know, Greg, he's I think he lives not far from our hometown.
Does he
Jesus
really?
Christ.
That would make
Yeah.
sense, I guess.
I forget where, because I think Ninja's from St. Charles.
God
That is,
damn.
okay, yeah, St. Charles sucks. So
Nick,
sorry,
yeah,
City of
Nick,
St. Charles.
Nick Fuentes. God, I forget what town. I mean, I don't want
There's a rumor going around about his high school reunion that he tried to like sell pot to everyone there, and they told him no. Can't prove
Nick-
that's true or not, but it's funny if it's true.
I don't know.
Yeah, sorry.
I want to say Lagrange. I think.
I think you might be
that's-
right, but
yeah.
again, I don't know for sure.
Yeah,
Sure
screw
as
that
fuck
guy.
wasn't Batavia.
What? Who?
I said it sure as
Yeah.
fuck wasn't Batavia.
We don't
Tell you that
tolerate that
much.
kind of shit.
IONetrunner in the chat says, "Why are you looking at that?" I'm not looking at it. I'm on Twitter, and it
And it
comes up
appears
on
for
my
you.
page.
Yeah,
I
Twitter
mean, that's
sucks.
what people like. I'm done with that life advice from anyone. They're like, oh, well, could you just unfollow the stuff you don't want to? No,
You can't unfollow anything.
My
It's just-
friends, the people I love, the people I know are retweeting or liking things, or there's all this periphery stuff happening, and
Right.
Twitter just it's got its fingers and everything, and just funnels the the big pile of steamy glowing dog shit right
Yeah.
in front of you. Just you open your phone, you can
Yeah,
get a big
because
sniff
people-
right away.
people interact with it, and so it's like, well, it's gonna pop. If people that you know interact with things, you're going to see it.
Yeah, I have
So-
I have a college roommate who you remember the house I lived at, Kevin. One of them, he just constantly posts like Candace Owens videos and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. So
She
like,
has a new talk show now.
That's
yes,
right, yeah.
exactly.
Again,
she does.
I don't even look for this shit. I just see people.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
retweet it
I'm
and they
saying.
say,
Is like just people
Yeah.
in my life. Just like you can't necessarily avoid it, but
Exactly. Or like, God forbid, like if you still go on Facebook, like, family members, extended family, people you went to high school with, and the
I
like.
don't even fucking look at Facebook.
I mean,
anymore.
yeah, I
It's
mean,
just-
because when you do it, just like, oh yeah, this is why. This is I'd rather go on.
it's dumb town, man.
I'd rather be on Twitter where they talk about groipers and chocolate milk.
At least the people that I follow are like, against that type of shit. That's where I'm seeing it. I'm not seeing like, whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
This is all stupid.
it's just like
This is for everyone's entertainment.
Yeah.
Okay. My pain, your gain.
Speaking of which, if you haven't listened to Thought Cops before, every week we investigate the internet's outrage-inducing news stories, and then we sentence each perpetrator to a cruel and quite often unusual punishment. Can we talk about Papa John right off? I want to get off on this.
Go off, King. Get off on it.
Go for it, man.
Hey, I realized that came out very strange, but I'm going to do it anyway. So we got a quick video clip to play here.
Take me back to a few years ago when you start to see these headlines coming out and smearing your good name. How did you feel at the time when you were seeing these headlines?
State of shock. Unbelievable. I couldn't understand it. I mean, again, you have a public board that paints.
Does he ever take off that red shirt?
No.
Complicit, passive, or active. They paint
he was fired
the founder
from the company,
as a
wasn't
racist.
he?
Yeah.
He still
they know
wears
he's not
that
a
shirt?
racist. It's just unbelievable. And I used to lay in bed just going, how did they do this? And we've had 3 goals for the last 20 months to get rid of this N-word in my vocabulary and dictionary and everything else because it's just not true. Figure out how they did this and get on with my life. If Papa John's would just say, hey, we got in a hurry, we didn't follow proper.
So Papa John has been training in the hyperbolic time chamber, so he won't say the N-word.
Yes. Sitting there with the gravity all the way up.
Yeah, so instead of his fight with Frieza, he's coming back for his job.
To not say the N-word.
He like says other words that start with N and pauses on it for a really long time before belting out something else heroically.
The day of reckoning is coming. Remember that?
Yeah.
Right before COVID hit?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
The way, like, is he serious?
He can't be. Well, he is,
He
but
spent, like, I don't know. I don't know because I don't know like that many overt racists in my life. And the ones that I do know, I try and stay away from. But it's one of those things where it's like, man, you have to like practice to not say like in my head. I don't think like, I have to practice not to say that. I just like don't say it. I don't understand why. That's like the challenging aspect of that is that you had to train. You trained not to say it. Just stop saying it. Why is that a challenge?
It's the word training that makes it because it implies like like Rocky or like Dragon Ball Z, like you said, like some sort of it's some insurmountable effort to not say the N-word.
Eye of the tiger, John.
To get rid of it.
I believe in you, Papa John.
To get it out of his vocabulary.
Yes.
Like that necessarily insists that it's in his vocabulary, like in his common parlance.
Yeah, the other part I like is where he says he wants, if I heard it right, he says he wants to find out how they did this.
Oh, yeah, find out how they did this.
We know how they did this. They heard your ass.
Yeah, Sleep Science in the chat says he probably misspoke and didn't mean that necessarily, but that's equally indicative of how much of a moron he is.
Oh, no,
He's
totally.
too stupid to express a coherent thought.
I think he's just aware that there's a million eyeballs on him in that moment, and he has to pick his words carefully, and he just fucked it up,
Hey, cut the guy some slack.
No, don't. But that's what I think happened.
Yeah, I mean that seemed to be how he got in the situation in the first place. Is he was like, okay, guys, there's a controversy happening right now. And the number one word that none of us can say at this point in time, and then he says it. And it's like, dude, you're talking about, like, for example, never say, and it's like, dude, are you kidding me? Dude, just don't do the thing, imply. If you're going insofar as to like make the point that you're trying to make, like just like cool, like you're the face of the company, you're Papa John. Just take a step back. Just don't. What are you doing, fella?
I don't know about you guys,
champ, but
like not using that word is not like a whole lot of effort on my part in day-to-day life, like
right.
I like how I started that with I don't know about you guys. I do know that you guys.
Well, I want to go on record and say, Greg, I'm on the same page as
for
you.
sure.
Not too hard for me personally.
Public,
right.
Everybody's different though, Everybody's different.
The chat says he's just coked up 24/7, which honestly, that's not good enough for me. Like, even if he is, he can still do better. There are like Stephen King was coked up 24/7.
I know plenty of people who do cocaine that don't say the N-word.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah, I don't know. There's an aspect to this too that like I think Sleep Science sort of touched on in terms of him being too stupid to express a coherent thought, which is like, I don't know. The more and more I think about like the concept of like what is aspirational in life and how so many people are like, hey, it's aspirational to have a lot of money. It's aspirational to be a CEO, to be a billionaire, to own all this shit. And it's just like, isn't it aspirational to like do things and like have a positive effect on the world and to like do like things that, you know, makes things better for people? And like, yet people somehow look up to, like, in some sort of weird way, they think that because he's successful, that he's like, that people should like somehow look up to that in any level of anything. I don't know.
Well, there's an update here, Grant. He said in the statement, quote, "It was proven in an investigative report by former FBI Director Louis Freeh that there was nothing racist in my words or actions on the conference call with our ad firm, and that there has never been in my history. In fact, I said then, quote, I never used the word on that call, though the media failed to report that crucial qualifier when I was paraphrasing a third party."
But you just said that you spent 20 months getting it out of your vocabulary. Like,
well, if I quote somebody,
he doesn't even agree with himself. I don't know.
As a kid in
that's like something a third grader
in.
does when the teacher yells at him for using a naughty word. Like, that's like something I would do when I was young. Like bastard, like Bart Simpson in the car when he says bastard over and over again.
Yeah, Bart, get over here.
But he's literally, they were not married when he was born. He's a bastard.
And then he physically abuses his son.
Why you little?
You just had to be there, okay?
Yeah, he really had to.
He just had to be there for the domestic violence on The Simpsons.
It is kind of weird that like The Simpsons is phasing out like Apu and Dr. Hibbert, but they're keeping the child.
Dr. Hibbert? I didn't know. I didn't know Dr. Hibbert was on the way out.
A newer update. Yeah, a newer
We should start that campaign. Honestly, so many people have gotten so far. What? Hari Kondabolu, the only reason I know Hari Kondabolu's name is because he did that documentary.
We're going to get a Netflix documentary.
We could.
And
hey, man, I was abused. I was physically abused as a child. It's not funny. It's not. The Simpsons can't. You know, I love The Simpsons growing up. I loved. I'm the biggest fan. Here's a 5-minute video of me at Simpsons World. I'm holding a little Bart. You know what's not okay? Choking your son.
You know what's interesting is like when you compare it to the first episode of King of the Hill. The pilot episode of that show where there was like an investigation where they thought that Hank was abusing his son because of like a misunderstanding, and obviously he wasn't.
Right.
Could you imagine Hank Hill choking Bobby? That would make me throw up.
Well, that's, that would
also
fit, yeah.
I also feel like just because King of the Hill was very much more realistic and The Simpsons was supposed to be sort of like a parody.
It was
of like
more grounded
Archie
in
Bunker
reality
style.
than The Simpsons was for sure, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that would be horrifying.
Peter Griffin, on the other hand, I can't speak to that.
You mean Homer Simpson? I can't tell the difference.
No, Peter Griffin, man. That guy, you see what Homer does. I don't want to see what Peter does behind closed doors.
Oh, geez.
Anyway, punishment time for Papa John once again. God, I'm sick of talking about this guy on the show.
How many times has it
There's
been?
more stuff that we can get to.
I don't know, but how many times have we talked about Papa John on the show, Grant?
At least 3 or 4.
Yeah, at least, for sure.
We talked about the last controversy. We talked about the Day of Reckoning.
He just keeps coming
Different
in.
Story arcs. Yeah.
Let me try to think of an appropriate punishment for Papa John. You guys can go first.
I don't know. Erase his vocabulary. Just start from the ground up. Just take all the words out. And he has to relearn. He has to learn to talk like how a baby has to learn how to talk.
You got to cast that spell on him in Final Fantasy where they can't speak, where they can't cast spells.
Yeah, we got to silence him.
So he's got that guy. He's got
the
little
three
like
dots
dot
above
over his head.
Yeah.
Yeah. No more Papa John in the news. He's got a spell cast on him from Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah,
for sure.
Speaking of things that corporate figures should know better than to do, but cannot help but indulge themselves regardless. Women belong in the kitchen, am I right, fellas?
Yeah, I know. I saw
hungry.
this one. Yeah.
So, if anybody is not in the know, first of all, no, I am not a misogynist. I'm quoting. Okay, this is okay for me to say contextually because I'm quoting somebody else who said something bad.
And we're not on a conference call.
And we're not on a conference
well, I guess we kind of
call.
are, actually.
And
sort of, yeah.
this was tweeted out by everyone's second favorite burger establishment, Burger King.
The UK,
And
right?
the tweet says...
Yes, specifically Burger King UK.
Yeah. And the tweet says, women belong in the kitchen.
They're a little mad over there, aren't they?
And then just mic drop. And I had seen someone post something along the lines of like, with how brand Twitter is starting to become like, it's only a matter of time until you see like post-irony leftist like type dialogue coming from these brands.
Well, I think the term they used, like I saw the same post, was like post-left.
Something,
and this
whatever.
probably sounds fucking insane to people who aren't on the internet as much, but it's just like, it's like post-woke, post-left,
right,
edgy kind of humor. It's
never
like,
heard that.
you know, Burger King UK is basically aiming to be the next Nick Mullen.
They're edge lords, right? Yeah. I get. Okay, so
the tweet.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna expand on this, or at least finish like reading, because there was more to it.
That's what I was gonna say too. Yeah.
Oh, nice. There's more to it, and like it's just fucking dumb. And you know that there was like a team of people behind this, which makes it even more sad. And probably the intern that tweeted it out got fired. But regardless, so it says women belong in the kitchen. Then there's a reply to it. But of course, the way that like Twitter works, you don't see the reply unless you click on it and you read through, you know? So they respond to their own tweet. They say, if they want to, of course, yet only 20% of chefs are women. We're on a mission to change the gender ratio in the restaurant industry by empowering female employees with the opportunity to pursue a culinary career. # International Women's Day.
Like, I know I was joking about the Nick Mullen thing, but this legitimately sounds like a Blue Chew ad read on Comtown.
Salute to women everywhere. And then they continue, we are proud to be launching a new scholarship program which will help female Burger King employees pursue their culinary dreams. Someone said KFC
KFC Gaming, to be specific.
I'm glad that
KFC
exists.
Gaming.
We need KFC to have a gaming branch.
So KFC Gaming responds with, "This is insane." Is that a? I don't know who the original
this
image
is, so
but
fucking stupid.
It's an 8-bit version of Colonel Sanders, and he's pointing to a whiteboard that says, "The best time to delete this post was immediately after posting it. The second best time is now." Burger King UK responds, "Why would we delete a tweet that's drawing attention to a huge lack of female representation in our industry? We thought you'd be on board with this as well, ? We've launched a scholarship to help give more of our female employees the chance to pursue a culinary career," which is like fine, but the point, what everybody saw was not you launched a scholarship. No. They saw Burger King tweet out, "Women belong in the kitchen,"
which was intentional. Like, it was meant to be.
They knew what they were doing, right?
Right.
Like, it's like that fucking, remember those t-shirts?
It's meant to catch your attention.
Ago, cool story, babe. Make me a sandwich.
Yeah.
What's that? Subway's new fucking tweet.
Yeah.
Jared's back. He's wearing the shirt.
Oh, jeez. Just brands and shock humor. It's a bad. There was, for example, I saw there was like a mattress store that did like a 9/11 special, and they did a special ad for it.
Yeah, that's
something like that.
Classic video.
Yeah, you've seen the video, I'm sure. It's unbelievable, but it's real, and it killed their business, you know. But Burger King can't really fail like that. But don't do shock humor if you're trying to fucking sell something. It's going to, or like it's just not going to work for you.
Right. Well, and I've sort of said this before on the show, and I think that it still, like, to a certain extent exists, which is why all of these brands have Twitter presences in the first place, is because if you see Burger King tweet out, hey, the Impossible Burger back at Burger King, nobody gives a fuck. You you report it, you block it, you say, I don't want to see this ad, et cetera, et cetera.
You post the crab silence brand, he's got
right.
the lasers out of his eyes.
But you do this, you create controversy, like, you might see a dip, but then stocks go up. It creates a controversy. People are talking about your brand. Like, you have people saying, well, why can't they say that? And then you have other people saying, this is definitely not okay. And it's
which,
just
of course, it has to be another brand. KFC Gaming has to get in on it. And it's like, what makes me profusely sick is the idea that there are people out there who saw KFC Gaming throwing shade and they got hungry from that and then went to feed their fat ass a chicken sandwich that day because KFC said something. No, not KFC Gaming.
It's the same thing when the first tweet happened, the initial, women belong in the kitchen one, and a bunch of people were sharing it. Everyone was like, you're just giving Burger King free advertising. But like, if you see that tweet and your first thought is like, I want a Whopper, like, fuck you.
And that's going to happen too. There's plenty of people who are like, yeah, they're trying to cancel Burger King. I'm going to go there instead of McDonald's.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, man, go ahead. Give yourself a fucking tapeworm. Nobody cares.
Showed me.
You probably won't get a tapeworm from Burger King, but you'll get fucking, I don't know, whatever. Who cares? Point being, like, how do you do this and think like, oh, the entire point was to launch a new scholarship program by saying women belong in the kitchen. Like a misogynistic trope that will definitely get you hate. And I guess the question begged to me is whether or not they knew it was going to get hate or whether or not they were so fucking stupid to think that, like, yeah, people are going to be talking about our scholarship program.
I think they knew it was going to generate like a reaction. I'm pretty sure. Well,
it's that dry British humor. It's
but here's the other thing, though, is like, what is it? 2012? I haven't heard a joke like that in forever. Like,
so they did have a follow-up tweet here, Grant, if you want to read that one.
Yeah, they say, God, I fucking hate this. They say, we hear you. We got our initial tweet wrong, and we're sorry. Our aim was to draw attention to the fact that only 20% of professional chefs in UK kitchens are women, and to help change that by awarding culinary scholarships. We will do better next time.
I can say...
You won't. Oh, no, go ahead.
I can say for sure, like, there is, like, that's true. There aren't many women in the culinary industry. This is not the way to advertise that?
Right. I mean, they would have gotten their, like...
They could have done this any other way, and it would have been better, right?
Yeah, they wouldn't have gotten as much attention, but, like, they wouldn't have gotten as much attention, but they would have gotten, like, all their praise and kudos and, like, positive internet points, their updoots and shit like that. They would have gotten all that if they would have just said, hey, Happy International Women's Day.
Yeah.
There's representation issues. We're launching a scholarship program. What's wrong with just saying that?
Nothing. Yeah, it's the Twitter culture for you, though. You gotta stand out from the pack of, the flood of other tweets.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that, like, I'm so fucking cynical about regarding this is the fact that it's like, it's just all a fucking shirt. Like, all of it, it's so fucking manufactured.
Yeah.
Like, from the original tweet to the apology to everything after, like, every juncture, that they fucking knew exactly what they were doing, and that, like, instead of, like, doing the correct thing, they went with, like, the easier option, because at the end of the day, it just, like, fucking doesn't matter to them.
We'll forget.
Because they don't fucking give a shit.
Yeah.
And that's the thing where it's just like, well, why the fuck do I give a shit about literally everything? Or anything? Why do I give a shit about anything?
That's a very good question, man.
Yeah.
Obviously, nobody else does.
No.
At least when I'm a nihilist, I'm fucking self-loathing about it. These people are injecting me with their own nihilism.
It's not helping, that's for sure.
At what point are we going to get, like, ads that are just like, Fuck you. Buy Wendy's.
Oh, I'd give it 3 years.
Yeah, we're gonna get there
Yeah.
soon. Or like the Bill Hicks bit. You guys know him. He has the joke about it's just like a woman opening her legs and spreading her shit, and the caption just says "Drink Coke."
I mean, there was that
You
whole...
had to be there.
Yeah,
You had to be there, yes.
man.
Yeah, for Bill Hicks.
You Remember, what was it, 5-6 years ago, where fast food advertising was more like, hey, you guys know video games, right? Arby's, we like video games.
We made a
like
Mario
pop
level,
culture.
yeah.
Yeah, we made a Steven Universe out of cardboard. You guys like that? Come
Yeah.
eat our filth.
Yeah, exactly.
Anybody-
We made a reference.
Anybody remember Metabots? Anyway, enjoy Arby's.
Yeah, or don't. I mean, you're probably not going to, but hey, come on in. That's kind of where, that we've moved on from like enjoyment of anything at this point, which, now we've just moved on, to this battleground of, edgy jokes. And I think this is the beginning of a bright new era.
Well, I think we also, unfortunately enough, actually, it was Burger King that sort of started this. I think we talked about during the pandemic, like maybe about a year ago or so, that they had Burger King was launching their sad meals.
Oh God!
Oh, that was McDonald's, wasn't it? It was like their.
Was it, or was it like Burger King?
It was like 6 different ones you could get that were like depressed, and like it was like.
Was it McDonald's?
It was so I'm pretty sure it was. It was like in place of the Happy Meal. Or no, it was Burger King because they were competing with McDonald's, and they were like, not everyone's happy all the time. That's why we're introducing, anxiety.
It's like, no
meals.
shit. I don't.
We're gonna market your dysfunction to you. Yeah, it was a bad idea.
Right, and that was like the big criticism is that it's just like these like these powerful moneyed interests are like utilizing your mental health in order to make a quick buck off
exactly.
of you.
It's disgusting.
Sort of thing. And
it's bad.
This does feel like the same shit where it's just like, like just dwelling in negativity, just like everybody's negative all the time. You know how to make a lot of money is will also be negative, and that like people will relate to that. And it's just like, we're all making the world worse all the time.
Yeah.
No matter what we do. It's a lose-lose.
Yeah, you really can't make the world better. It's just not doable.
Yeah. So yeah, fuck it. Women belong in the kitchen. I agree.
Yeah,
sure.
whatever.
Yeah, women belong in the kitchen if they want to be.
Doesn't matter.
Is that the punishment? Only, Burger
King. How do we punish the Burger King intern? That's a good question.
I got an idea actually.
Yeah, go ahead.
They need somebody with more experience, somebody who's worked in the fast food industry, somebody who's been higher up in the business for some time. I think Burger King should hire Papa John to write their tweets from now on.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Give
Let's
him
get
free
Jared
reign.
a Twitter account from jail.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's probably got a private account.
He can tweet for Burger King UK.
Is Charles Manson still alive?
No, I don't believe.
Charles Manson gets Wendy's. We just give them to insane people, just like fucking megalomaniacs. Donald Trump now gets to tweet for, I don't know, Chick-fil-A or whatever. Who the fuck cares?
That would be pretty awesome, actually. No, not awesome, but like.
I mean, I know. I was gonna say too, Greg. Like we're saying this like somewhat jokingly, and there's a sick little part of me where I'm like, I kind of want to see
just
that.
let it fucking happen. Fuck it. Who cares? Like I said, we're not making the world any better. Just make it worse.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Seems to be the idea these days.
Yeah. Speaking of making things worse, Grant, 2 weeks in a row, Space Jam 2 news.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, sweet.
Oh.
Let's do this. I know
my
what it is.
Could my life get any worse? Oh boy.
This is almost like Joker update from Mega 64, but it's like fucking Space Jam 2 update.
Every fucking time.
Every
man.
fucking week we gotta talk. I don't care about this fucking movie for babies, man.
And again, it's a commercial.
Yeah. What did you guys talk about the bunny last time?
Oh yeah, we talked about Lola Bunny this week. Now we got Pepe Le Pew, who's been cut from the film,
which is probably for the best.
And if you all remember, maybe some of the younger listeners out there, you had to be there. Pepe Le Pew, he was a French skunk who had a very high libido.
Right.
And he was constantly chasing around a cat who had she would get like a strip of like white paint accidentally painted on her.
Right.
And he'd get all confused and horny and start chasing her around. Now, of course, in the age of 2021, you can't really it doesn't come off as charming, so to speak.
It's not. Well, the thing is, like, the cat is always like visibly struggling to push him away.
Right.
Yeah.
And she's actively running away from him.
But at the same time, he never gets what he wants.
Right.
And then sometimes
okay, but that's life though.
Right, and sometimes maybe he'll end up what he thinks he's smoking, a French cigarette, turns out to be a large stick of dynamite.
Oh, wait, that happens to Pepe Le Pew?
I don't know.
I don't remember, man. Maybe
that sounds like a Wile E. Coyote thing. As far as I knew, Pepe Le Pew's one joke is just raping this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it works. No, I'm just kidding. No, he's writing for Burger King now.
Yeah,
anyway,
perfect. Yeah, there we go.
So, Pepe Le Pew, Space Jam 2.
Are people actually mad at this, or is this something that people
I don't know.
are like sort of like they're getting mad at a reaction that isn't actually happening? I don't know. I've never seen anyone upset that Pepe Le Pew was cut from Space Jam 2.
I haven't either. This is relatively new, though. So
yeah, for sure.
It's relatively new, but just like everything else, like the fucking Dr. Seuss thing.
Yeah, the second they hear, yeah.
It's all part of like the weird culture war where, like, again, you make something sort of like politically partisan, despite the fact that like people, I think, don't even care to look into like the actual details of it. Because like I mentioned last episode, on the last episode of Thought Cops, I brought up the fact that it's like, well, the Dr. Seuss estate decided we're not going to sell these 6 books. And then a bunch of conservatives went out and bought all of the Dr. Seuss books minus those 6 because you couldn't buy them. And it's like, you're angry at the company that's censoring the books. Yeah. And so you reward them by buying their books.
I want to add something to that.
It's so fucking convoluted. I can't even wrap my mind around what people are angry about, why they're angry about it, what they think that they're angry about, and whether or not they know or care about any of it, or whether I think it's just a fucking like a virtue signal. All of this shit is just a virtue signal. You're putting on a dress and you're like Bugs Bunny, you're putting on a dress and you're putting on makeup and you're tricking someone into thinking that you're a beautiful lady, but surprise, surprise, you're Bugs Bunny, and nobody can. No, I don't.
So it says here that they cut him from the movie, which makes it sound like
there was
okay.
There was. I looked into this. I actually do have a bit of.
He was canceled.
There was a scene where LeBron James teaches him about consent, but they cut that scene from the movie, and that was the only scene he was going to be in.
I guess. I mean, I don't really. That doesn't sound harmful.
Yeah, but I don't. Here's the thing with both the Dr. Seuss and this. As far as I know, there was no pressure being put on anyone for them to do that. There wasn't some canceled Dr. Seuss campaign or anything. It's just something they kind of chose to do on their own volition. Yeah. But the second that the wrong people hear about that, they're like, canceled? We have to fight this. And they don't care how they're fighting it. They just feel like they must.
Right. And maybe it's just like, like you have to cut content in films.
Totally.
Like,
that's the thing, is that they might have just not had time for it, or like there's a million reasons it could have been cut. But
right, the movie could have been 3 hours long, and they're just like, we don't need some of these fucking, and then they just like took them out, or like
release the Snyder cut.
Yeah.
So here's the other question I have about that movie, though, is when the first Space Jam came out, Looney Tunes was still on, and the polls were huge. Obviously, is Looney Tunes still going even? Like, is it popular now with kids today? Like, is that a draw for them? Like,
there is a show on HBO Max, like a new Looney Tunes.
Yeah, there's like a revival.
Oh, for sure there is. Okay.
Elmer Fudd no longer has a gun. He has a scythe.
Yeah. Oh, I saw that. Yeah. Which is scarier. It's almost more grotesque in its implication.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to see how they're going to implement that in the movie. Is he going to be like trying to slice the ball in half or something?
Yeah. Well, anime style, like when Frieza, he slides down.
Yeah, like Destructo Disc.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it the same intellectual because I thought it was like the new Looney Tunes cartoon. I don't think that these are the new Looney Tunes cartoon. I think that this is just like the Looney Tunes.
Well, I
you
think
know what I mean?
Like the new, okay, like this is
it canon?
I don't know why I know so much about this, but there have been obviously many different Looney Tunes cartoons over the years. There was one that was on like 10 years ago that was kind of like sitcom-y.
Oh, I want to talk about one.
This new one is real quick though.
A return to form.
Yeah, a return to form. And again, we're seeing them, doing what they do best, playing basketball with famous athletes. What were you going to say, Greg?
Just real quick, there is a Looney Tunes spin-off show. I don't know when it aired, but it's called Lunatics Unleashed. And if you can find it, you should absolutely watch it because it's really effing weird.
Is it the one where it's
they're all superheroes and it's like the future?
Yes, I remember that. And the only reason I remember that is because they originally named the character Buzz Bunny, like B-U-Z-Z.
Yeah, they all have like slightly
Buzz.
like power names. Yeah.
Well, they had to change it because they found out Buzz Bunny was the name of a popular vibrator.
Oh my
Awesome.
god!
So, hey, cancel culture gone wrong.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's been around for a long
Buzz Bunny
time.
is canceled. All the conservatives are going to go buy Lunatics Unleashed DVDs now, and some CEO somewhere is going to be like, "What the fuck?"
He's like, man, these are really hard to find.
Fuck cops!
Yeah. You've done it again! Damn you!
Someone that's in the movie. I don't know this actress's name. I also don't know how to say this name.
Okay. What name? What is it? Space Jam 2?
Greasy Santana. I'm gonna say
I don't know.
Greasy Santo.
Probably not right.
Best known for portraying Blanca and Jane the Virgin. So whoever this Santo person is, she says, for me, it was important to have the scene in the movie to inspire the younger generations and also the older generation so we can correct that behavior. I felt the scene was a way to show kids that this type of behavior is wrong. One, apparently LeBron acted out the scene.
Yes, they didn't animate it though.
They didn't animate it, so it like never even, there was no scene at all.
Right.
Like, it's just LeBron talking to a man wearing a green outfit. But the other thing is, there is like a weird aspect of like picking apart something. Like it is inherently insane to be talking about cartoon animals and like their behavior, because like the thought that went into some of these cartoons back then is like, yeah, what if a skunk like thought that a cat was a skunk? Like they would have this mating ritual. Like you're breaking it down into things that like, of course, they're anthropomorphic animals that like are taking on human characteristics and shit like that. But it is one of those things where it's like you can look into it like one way or the other too much, sort of. And I also feel like there's sort of a point, and that there's sort of not with this, that it's sort of like,
no, I know exactly what you're saying. It's like we're overthinking it, but we weren't thinking about it enough before.
Right. Yeah.
It's weird.
So like I don't know. I don't have a solution to any of these things aside from
I got one.
Putting him in making him smoke a stick of dynamite. That's the only thing I can think of.
I was going to say they could replace him with that extra Sonic model they threw out from the Sonic movie.
Yeah, that would be great.
It has the teeth and everything.
Yeah,
just put that in there instead. It's lying around doing nothing. I'm sure.
We should also
go ahead.
No, mine was stupid. I don't want to say it anymore.
I was just going to say that, you need so many people to be on a basketball team anyway. So, have him sit on the bench or something.
Yeah, learn about consent. Just keep the movie exactly as is.
Just like in the movie The Room, where they completely replaced Peter. Like, just do that.
Yeah.
Just like a different, like start out the movie with him and then it's just someone nothing like him.
He's like, we're talking to LeBron. He's like, I feel like I'm sitting on an atomic bomb and he's about to go off. Who?
Thanks for your opinion.
Okay. I don't want to talk about this. This one's depressing. We talk about either the Mumford and Sons thing. I don't know enough about the fucking
let's do
Meghan Markle thing.
Let's do the Mumford and Sons.
All right.
Yeah, it's our duty as Americans, frankly, to ignore the royal family.
Yeah.
So let's not do that one. Mumford and Sons, I'm down with that.
Yeah, Mumford and Sons. How many sons? Let's find out.
At least a couple. It's at least two. It's got to be plural. So
Yeah.
it's more than one.
More than
Winston
one.
Marshall steps away from Mumford and Sons after controversial tweet.
So yeah, I know this story. I don't know if you guys do already.
Yeah, I saw it as it popped up. I don't see the original tweet. I don't know why they don't include this stuff. I'm trying to do a show here, and they're not including the original. Wait. Oh, here we go. So it has to do with this guy, Andy.
I don't know how to pronounce that name. I see it all the time, and
I think it's
guy.
No.
Andy, no, I want to say, yeah. NGO,
Yeah,
if anyone in the chat wants to correct us, that'd be great.
Yeah, with your text. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and sound it out.
Yeah,
No,
they're saying
I
it's no.
don't-
It's Andy, no. Yeah, she says
No, he says no, he's not going to do it.
Famous James Bond villain, Andy No.
Yeah, pretty much.
I know peripherally very little about Andy No. I couldn't break down. I know that like he was on one Joe Rogan episode. He's one of these like quote unquote journalists, sort of like a Tim Pool sort of that goes around and does all this reporting on like Antifa does a bad thing, but like maybe he has like weird intentions in and of his. Like I don't fucking know. This is what I'm getting through the distillation of all this shit. I don't care that much. I try not to engage with the shit. I try not to engage with the shit. I see it anyway. I try not to.
Here we are week after week.
I know him mostly. What he's most known for is he'll leave out like key pieces of information on the things he reports on. Like,
right.
He did a video of the Capitol protest where like it looks like a bunch of people are just beating up this dude for no reason because he edited it that way. But what actually happened is he started attacking people and like was stopped. And Andy Ngo like edited that video and tweeted out like, look at these people attacking the conservatives. It's wrong. Like he does that sort of thing. And he's just a really dishonest guy.
Yeah. There's so many of those people, though, that I lump them in together. You know what I call them? I call them the basket of deplorables.
It's so hard to follow them all, I know.
I like that, Grant.
Thank you.
I missed it. I was blabbing. What was it?
I call them the basket of deplorables, I say. That's what I call them. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, man, who nowadays isn't doing that? Who's not editing content? Who's not like doing this shit? And you fact check people and like the fact check doesn't matter. So I just I see some of this shit and I'm just like, who cares? I don't know. Who cares? Yeah, the guy's a piece of shit. Whatever. So he wrote a book about why Antifa is literally Hitler or something. I don't know. I didn't read into it.
He wrote a book.
And the banjo player from Mumford and Sons says, congratulations, Andy No. Finally had the time to read your important book, You're a Brave Man. Which is like, okay, I can see why that's bad. If this guy's really as bad as people say that he is, which
he's
again,
pretty awful from everything I've seen, to be fair.
Right.
So
and by no means am I denying that, but nevertheless, like, you got to draw a line somewhere.
Are we
I
we canceling Mumford and Sons over that? Is the thing?
So, kind of like from what I saw, everybody was just criticizing it, which seems to be okay to do. Like,
oh, Greg, I think you might have some background audio.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what that is. It's like, are you
wait,
moving
Zwick, you're in the chat.
Oh,
please mute yourself.
Zwick?
Hey, Zwick.
No, our editor just popped in the chat and had his audio on.
Oh, for sure.
What the fuck was I talking about?
Jesus.
Oh,
Mumford and Sons.
So it's like criticism, and people were like, "Hey, this guy's bad, and you're endorsing a book by a person who's bad. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah,
your
that's all it
music
is.
is bad, and you suck." Like no one, as far as I saw, no one was like, hey, kick this guy out of Mumford and Sons.
Burn his
because
music.
I don't think that anybody listens to Mumford and Sons.
Again, it's one of these things where it's like, are people watching Looney Tunes? Are they listening to Mumford and Sons? I don't know.
Here's my favorite mental image of all of this is all the pissed off people who are now going to pretend that they're huge Mumford and Sons fans.
Yep.
And they get to listen to Mumford and Sons. I don't know about you guys. I don't care for Mumford and Sons music. Really,
I don't either.
Boring to me.
Same.
Whatever.
Yeah, someone the chat says, who the hell is listening to them anyway? Yeah,
2012, she says.
Yeah. Still, like, yeah, he's a dumb for doing that, I guess. And where I think his worst offense is just being stupid, promoting a book by a bad guy. You know,
yeah,
there's worse things you can do.
Yeah, there's worse things you can do, and I don't think that it's necessarily like the most harmful thing. Like it's, I guess it's an endorsement or whatever, but it's also just like, yeah, he's like you said, he's a dum-dum. Who cares?
What's next? One of the guys from Lumineers is like, ooh, Mein Kampf is pretty good.
Yeah, right. Like cat power.
Hey, I've been watching Tim Pool's videos lately.
Yeah.
Like, no, but it's just like, okay, so you like this thing. People were criticizing it. It went viral, whatever. And then so his response is like, here, he tweeted out an apology. Over the past few days, I have come to better understand the pain caused by the book I endorsed, which is just like, you didn't think about that beforehand.
Yeah, this just now got to you.
Yeah, like, let me vet this. Let me think about things critically. Like, you're just now realizing because people are like criticizing you that, like, you know. He says, I've offended not only a lot of people I don't know, but also the closest to me, including my bandmates, and for that I'm truly sorry. As a result of my actions, I am taking time away from the band to examine my blind spots, which one is like fine to do, but two, now the narrative is people canceled Winston Marshall when he arbitrarily made the decision not to play music in his dumb band.
And you know what's interesting about this? Between this and, you know, another great example from this episode was the Burger King tweet. You know, we live in a very different age now where you don't have to proofread or examine your decisions as much. It's not like you're printing the paper goes out. You can't, you know, but you instantaneously apologize for it. You can just kind of test the waters and do whatever you want, say whatever you want, put it out there. And if it goes wrong, just apologize on Twitter. And you don't have to waste your fucking time and energy thinking about, is this a good idea or not? You just do stuff and you see what happens.
Yeah, that's how it goes, isn't it?
And then guess what? People are talking about you again.
Right.
We're talking about Mumford and Sons in 2021.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Sure does.
He wraps this up. He says, for now, please know that I realize how my endorsements have the potential to be viewed as approvals of hateful, divisive behavior. I apologize. This was not my intention. It's just weird. Like, my issue with a lot of these apologies is that nothing was explained. You know what I mean? Like, if this guy was just like, listen, I'm a conservative. We might disagree on some things. I understand that, you know, there's some things that are good, some things that are bad with Antifa or whatever. I read this book and it shone some light on things that I thought was important. And maybe I was wrong about that. Like, instead of like being a human, and I understand, like, it's probably a PR guy that fucking writes this shit, but it comes off as so just like sterile. And it's like, you're not understanding why people were upset about it. You just saw that people are upset with you and you assumed, oh, well, it comes off that I'm being hateful. You weren't being hateful. You said you read a book, but like, why?
Yeah.
Like, engage with why people are upset about that. You know, like, that's the thing that fucking gets me about this type of shit, like, that we talk about on the show and stuff like that. It's just that, like, people don't want to engage with any of it. You know, like, in any regard, they just issue an apology. It's like, no, like, tell us why you thought that it was a good book. Like, honestly, I think it'd do a lot more good if people just said that shit and like started a fucking
just
dialogue.
Be honest. Like,
just be a fucking person. God damn it. Anyway,
like, that's something I've been thinking about recently in terms of a lot of like entertainment and even comedy specifically, where it's like sometimes there's stuff that I don't know, like, there's some stuff that even if I don't like wholly agree with it or whatever, it's like, at least it has some fucking teeth. Like, I am just like so tired of like so much bland, like, milquetoast content and everything else. I feel like it's just just say what you fucking mean. Like, just own it. I don't care. Like, you're a fucking Mumford son. I don't give a shit about you.
And it's
that's the other thing is I don't care what the Mumford and Sons guy thinks.
Right.
Even if it's like awful, like, then fuck that guy. But like, that's the extent of my thought about it, you know?
Right. It's the same thing with the Gina Carano,
the Star Wars
it's
lady?
the same thing. It's like, yeah, man, I don't care that like an actress may be stupid, but there is that level where it's like they're canceling me. It's like Disney fired you. First of all, you're not being honest about the fact that they fired you and that like they may or might not have a right to fire you. And also like you didn't defend you didn't engage with the topic. And that's not to say like, you know, Kevin, when you're saying that's not to say like double down. Don't double down, but like meaningfully engage with the dialogue. Like I feel like that's maybe to a certain extent the way out for a lot of the shit that we have to fucking deal with every fucking week is just like meaningfully engage with it. You could be wrong, you could be right, but like maybe listen, maybe learn a little bit.
There's no listening, there's no learning, and it's 100% meaningless.
Right.
I think what Gina Carano did was noticeably worse than what the Mumford and Sons
that was a very
did,
different situation.
But I get what you guys are saying totally, and in this case, I mean, PR guy apologized for him, and I'm willing to just kind of forget about it after tomorrow, you know? Like, it seems pretty small potatoes.
I'm sure I will until I have to listen back to this episode.
What
I don't know.
What are we going to cancel next, huh?
God, I
honestly,
I don't know,
we just
man.
gotta cancel. Like, I just wait for the day like Enya comes out and is obsessed with Sargon of Akkad videos or something. And
I mean, honestly, I can see it happening. And like,
Enya.
God help us, we'll be talking about Enya in 2021.
Yeah. Then we're gonna be having an Enya episode.
Yeah, and then like fucking Ben Shapiro's. Actually, I've been a huge fan of Enya. For
of course, exactly.
Oh
God. Anyway, so punishment here. Mumford, son. I don't know, man.
I don't know. He has to. Here, I have a good one. He gets to rejoin the band, but he in order to do penance for the horrific crime that he did of like reading a book or whatever the fuck that we're talking about right now, he has to work at Guitar Center for 6 months and just listen as people over and over again play the riff to "Sweet Child of Mine" and get it 80% wrong. And you have to sit there and you have to fucking listen to it. You have to listen to people fuck up Nirvana songs over and over and over again.
Stairway to Heaven and Crazy
long.
Train, yeah.
Do they sell banjos at Guitar Center?
Probably.
Some of them do, yeah.
Yeah.
My idea for a punishment for him is that he should just go the rest of his life being the guy from Mumford and Sons. I think that's good enough.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Or
I mean, he's probably rich and has a better life than me, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, same.
I have another punishment we can say. You all know this you all know this painting, Saturn devouring his son.
Oh yeah,
and it's one of like the darkest, you know, and it's this horrifying looking Titan creature. Just fucking eating
it's
a
like
person.
Salvador Dali or something.
Mumford devouring his son.
There we go. There it is.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Fuck, that's good. Speaking of good, though, let's move on to Key to the City. Something nice, something swell, something positive that we saw this week.
Yeah.
My Key to the City goes to this. I think I saw it posted on Twitter, but it's from TikTok. Let me pull up the video here.
Where all good things are from.
Yes.
And where they all go to die.
So it's at the Video Bunker on TikTok. I guess we can play the video here. It's only a minute long.
During quarantine, my husband built a video rental store in our basement. Let's take a quick tour.
It's cool.
The start of quarantine last year coincided with the closure of our local family video, which gave my husband access to a lot of shelving and a crazy idea. He decided he needed a project at the house to keep himself busy. Instead of refinishing our kitchen cabinets, he decided to build a video rental store. The main room consists of shelves that contain our DVDs and Blu-rays, as well as a lot of other random movie knickknacks that he's picked up every now and then. We picked up a drink fridge, and we used this counter to house all of our movie snacks and the cash register. And off the main room, he created a viewing room that has 2 recliners, wall-to-wall shelving of his VHS tapes, a Laserdisc player, his retro video games, and more. Thanks for stopping by.
That's awesome.
That's a great use of time, especially during the quarantine.
That's real
could
cool.
be worse uses of time.
Yeah. And like people, I think it's a great use of like a physical media collection and just, again, you had to be there though. Video stores, Blockbuster, Greg, what'd you have for us this week? Key to the City, something good. Give it to us.
It's not like recent or anything. I hope that's cool.
That's fine.
But I found this dude on the internet, and his name is Alex Mokala, and he's a music producer. And the way I found him is he does these short little videos where he does these funky bass lines to video game songs, regardless of how funky they are. The one I saw was One Winged Angel from Final Fantasy VII, which is just about the least funky song I can think of, and he made it funky. That was funny.
That sounds awesome. Yeah.
It comes with a little story about you losing to Sephiroth in a dance-off. Go check that video out. It's called One Winged Angel is Funky. Very easy to find. Follow his music. He's on the internet. Alex Mokala is his name. I'm going to spell it. It's Moukala.
I'm going to have to look that up.
Yeah.
One of the best tracks from a video game, One Winged Angel.
One Winged Angel is awesome, but it's definitely not like a funky dance song.
A little different than Nobuo's original track, I have to assume.
He also did like the Me Shop channel and a bunch of other ones. There's a lot of good stuff.
Nice.
Great music. Says his dream is to score a Final Fantasy game. I hope they'll let him. I would if I was in charge of Final Fantasy.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I know they're making a lot of indie games too, Square Enix rather, so it could happen. Grant, what do you got?
My key to the city this week goes to a new channel that I've unearthed within my YouTube viewing, which is called I think it's called Unlearning Economics. Okay. And basically the way that I found it was like through criticism of like BreadTube videos, because I feel like there's a lot of people online that sort of want to, like, you can be in agreement with someone and like their policies and their like worldview and stuff like that, but just like look at the things that they say and go like, well, you're like wrong about this and you shouldn't perpetuate this because like I know economics and like I might agree with you on like all, everything you're saying to a certain extent, but like let me tell you. So he's I saw he made 3 videos like criticizing like different bread tubers and stuff like that. And then just like I've been going through his channel because I'm a big fucking nerd, because I want to like know about this shit. Like when people say, decommodify housing, when they say like, just get rid of money, it doesn't exist. Like this guy does like a very good like criticism without being like, a fucking like edgelord fucking asshole. Like he just explains in the same way that a lot of like legal channels explain like, different parts of the law without being, inflammatory and stuff like that.
So it's kind of like easy to consume.
Yeah, it's easy to consume. It's understandable. It's done pretty well. And again, it's one of those areas where it's like, I want to know as much as possible, but I don't want to go down these avenues being stupid about them. So it's always good, to when you have like gaps in your own knowledge to like, reach out to something that like maybe you wouldn't have thought of before because you don't like fucking know all that much.
Some surface knowledge, at least like base some opinion of your own.
Right.
On it. Yeah.
Or some more in-depth knowledge to add on to your like surface knowledge. Like at least if you have this surface knowledge, then you have like a little bit of an understanding that there are criticisms to the things that you're saying. And so I always try and gravitate towards that type of stuff because it's like I might be missing something in the shit that I'm thinking,
Yeah.
So it seems to be a pretty solid channel from what I've seen so far. So I could be wrong. The guy could be like a fucking Nazi or some shit. But insofar as I've seen,
I know how that goes.
He seems to be fine.
Cool.
Someone in the chat links to that guy's Instagram if you guys want to check it out. Sorry, someone in the chat linked to like Music Guy's Instagram, and if you guys want to check it out.
Cool.
So yeah,
awesome.
Cashew, thank you, Cashew. I appreciate that.
This week's Thought Cops word of the week is trad. 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 Typically a prefix used to define something traditional. Trad wife. Trad life. Trad. Whatever. Typically, I don't know. You typically used in I don't know, traditional sense, I guess you could say.
Truly.
Before we get to the final segment of the show, which is our listener voicemails, Greg.
Yeah.
Plug whatever you want, man.
What's up?
And you want to plug your Twitter or anything else you got?
I mean, you can follow me on Twitter if you want, but I don't really say anything. I'm twitter.com/ Letterbox, Letterbox, Avatar. I mostly just retweet shit and tweet at Grant sometimes, but like,
yes,
yeah. You can, on that note, you can use that to follow my movie blog, letterboxd.com.
Oh yeah, there you're much more active on there.
I am more active on there, but like, yeah. So go to that. Yeah, that's my thing.
Listen to the one episode of Film Dungeon. Go Google it.
Yeah, you can listen to the one episode of Film Dungeon if you want to. I wonder which one it is, because
it's the first one. So it's like the first episode of the podcast is already pretty rough. So it's first episode of a podcast.
Don't listen to that one, actually.
Yeah. Hey, people already have, and I guess they will. So I don't know. We got a lot of, I got a hard drive full of like 60 something episodes.
Yeah, we'll figure something out to get it out there. Yeah.
Yeah, one day. Well, I put it up in some kind of bonus feature somewhere. So yeah, cool. Let's
put those up in lieu of Fire Bros episodes that we've been meaning to get to. Just like here some here the co-host of the show and two other strangers talk about.
That's not a bad idea as an apology for the delays. I know, goddamn, we've been so fucking busy.
Dude, we've been like
lately.
fucking. I've been slammed.
Dude, life's hard, man.
Yeah, apologies. I don't know, man. We're gonna have to fucking just pump a bunch of these out at one point, and then give them the extra content while they're waiting. Patreon.com/thoughtcops. Throw us a few bucks over there, of course. But yeah, let's get to those listener voicemails. Give us a call 312-788-7361, or you can leave us a audio file at thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com. Hit it.
This is the Discord news for this week, bringing you all the news worth reporting from the virtual streets of Neo-Chicago.
This Monday, Vanderbilt and Realtree posted Gayfield early as to not give anyone else the chance to do it for him. Glad to see he's finally taking this seriously.
In #General, Kevin told the server that he just drank a Monster Energy Java and disgusted the entire server by calling it Daddy's Little Treat.
So good.
IoNetrunner spent the entire week posting about some sort of fantasy sports league called Blazeball. He was mostly ignored until Zwick gave him his own channel to ramble to himself. In #GamerAmericans, members of the server argued over what is a fighting game and which Smash Bros is the best. In the end, the discussion was futile since Smash Bros is not a fighting game and also bad.
Right,
in #RealMusic,
it's a driving game.
Talked about wanting to buy the Mars Volta vinyl collection for $500. No wonder millennials are broke.
In #The Food Network, Grant posted a giant bowl of spaghetti and ground beef that looked almost as sad as his life itself.
Wombo.ai gripped the server as Yosef was memed into singing the Fortnite song, Chug Jug.
In #LooneyBin, Cashew posted a video of people, presumably Americans, shooting at a fish.
The very unfunny meme, Gago, has replaced Seared Bite as the misdirect meme of the server.
This week's Discord news has been presented to you by Spicy Joseph and IO Blaze Runner.
Great job, guys, once again.
Hey, y'all, I hope this is the fucking Thought Cops, because I got something to say.
Yes, sir, it is.
Hello.
I was told that this is a place on the internet where I can just ramble and rant.
Yes,
and
sir,
boy,
it is.
I tell you, I got me a hot take right here.
Let's do it.
Now, I'm sorry, but apparently I need to get fucked because I thought Lola Bunny was hot as shit in the first Space Jam. Now, how the fuck y'all get some big old bodacious babe, Bugs Bunny babe, in the first one and the second one? Now she got no titties. What the fuck is that? I mean, I watched Space Jam when I was a grown adult back in when it came out, and me and my friends said that little bunny, she the greatest thing since sliced bread. Now I see this trailer for the new Space Jam with LeBron, and motherfucker, this Lola Bunny is flat as a surfboard. Ain't right.
Flat as a surfboard.
Now, I want to know if I'm just out of my fucking mind thinking that Lola Bunny should go back to having big floppy tits.
I don't know if they were floppy.
Hey, here's the thing about that, though. The original, you can still jerk off to the original Space Jam if you want to.
That's right. It's
it
always
still
there.
Exists. I can picture Lola Bunny in my mind right now with her perfect rack, and I don't need it visualized on the screen.
I see it every time I close my eyes.
Yes.
Let's hit the next one here.
Okay.
All right, we'll do the one directly underneath it that has the 3. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. Hitting play in 3, 2, 1, play.
And good evening to you thought cops. You know who it is. It is I, Leo the Incredible, once again calling into your amazing show. I'll spare you the suspense. I will not be engaging in a song about scrambled eggs and tossed salad, much to your disappointment, I'm sure.
God damn it.
But we can come back to that one at a later time. I believe we can put a pin in it. Nonetheless,
I hope
here's
so.
my call, gentlemen. And this one is specifically directed at you, Grant. Yes, I can see your face now. Confused and puzzled as to why this man on the voicemail is calling you out. And it has to do much with Twitch last night, my friend. I made what I believe to be a very innocuous comment, to which I had referred to Paper Mario as the spiritual successor to the partnership game of Mario RPG between Square and Nintendo back in the day. Now, I realize that Square and Nintendo will never, ever come together and make such a beautiful game as Mario RPG.
I think this guy deserves a Senate seat or something.
When I referred to it as the spiritual successor,
this is my favorite one so far.
You blankly, blatantly, without emotion, said no. Yes, two separate games. Yes, Grant. They are, in fact, 2 separate games. I recognize that. Nonetheless, I say you are incorrect. Paper Mario is, in fact, the spiritual successor to Mario RPG, and I will not be wrong. I will expect your on-air apology shortly, as I look forward to it as I'm listening to the sound of my own voice as you play it now. Kevin, keep up the great work. Enjoy your Twitch.
The fuck?
Grant, be nice, my friend. But I wish the both of you a very wonderful Thursday evening. Fare thee well, gentlemen.
Well,
That
Fraser,
was awesome.
here's my issue. Fraser Crane. Here's the issue that I have with that one. Like I mentioned before, I was looking at Twitch and I was playing a game and I was streaming on TikTok.
It's a lot.
So my attention was very spread thin. And honestly, I don't remember this conversation. But nonetheless, I will defend my past self by saying, I don't know, spiritual successor. Just because they're both RPGs, turn-based RPGs. I mean, aren't those like Mario and Luigi's Partner in Time, whatever? Those are like RPGs, right? Like, they're not spiritual successors to Paper Mario.
Yeah, they are.
Hold on, though.
But
I was
Paper Mario
subscribed to...
still exists.
I had Nintendo Power back in the day when they were making Paper Mario, and it was originally called Super Mario RPG 2.
It's right, yeah.
It was literally straight up a
glad they
sequel to
didn't,
that game originally. It didn't involve Squaresoft. That guy's right. That was funny as fuck. But that's my take on that. So I think it's fair to say either way, because it is a very different game from Mario RPG. The mechanics are nothing alike.
Spiritually speaking, I mean, some stuff is similar. The jumping, the timing, press A button.
Yeah, okay, that's the one thing that's similar is that when you press a button, like the combat actions, right? They have that in Mario RPG and in Paper Mario, but other than that, it's not close.
Much
but
to
it was,
think about.
So I can also see how you can say it is.
Let's just say that I'm
the question
of a
is, do the
different
DS
religion.
Paper Marios count?
Well, Grant, instead of just shutting the guy down next time, maybe you could be like, all right, yeah, I'll listen. And I know I'm doing 7 things at once, but I'll hear you out. I'll stop everything I'm doing to listen to
to listen to the one person.
Yeah.
And that's fair.
That was funny.
I won't apologize though, because like I said, I don't remember. And 2, I have to defend my past self because I could never be wrong.
That checks out.
We have reached.
Yeah,
it seems we have reached an impasse.
It's reasonable.
When an unmovable object meets Fraser Crane.
He responded with the turtle emoji.
What is that?
Well,
I don't know. Would it take too long to explain it?
Yeah. All I'll say is listen to the end of the last episode.
Sure, yeah, I can do that, yeah.
I'd rather not put myself through that.
Gotcha,
That's all I'll say.
Basically, it just completely derailed everything. It derailed the entire episode.
Speaking of the episode, let's hit this last voicemail.
Last voicemail.
I
want to give my key to the city to the guy who drive-by yelled at the balloon guy and called him a stupid nerd.
Yes.
Because he's right. That guy is a stupid nerd. And
Yes.
he's like my parents' age. So good for that guy and fuck the balloon man.
Okay, I'm surprised this didn't come up on the Discord news because
Yeah, that
I know
guy's annoying.
I'll
Right.
paraphrase this really quickly. I know I've talked about this balloon guy on the show several times.
Yeah, it's come up a couple times.
I didn't want to do it again because I'm like, it's not really a whole story's worth of content.
Well, and then the original video got taken down because I felt like it would have been a good
I should've saved that, man.
story. Yeah,
I feel like when
you never
people
fucking
think
know.
negatively about millennials, like they're thinking of that guy.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Like he's
got to be
ruining it
He's
for
got to
all
be
of
Gen
us.
Z
Yeah.
though,
He's probably like on the cusp, I would say.
or not Gen Z, Gen X. My bad, Gen X. Yeah,
I think he's on the cusp, like an older millennial.
Ugh, disgusting.
But yeah, like there was a big debate in the Discord about was that right for the guy to do, yell at him from a car? Was it wrong? And it's like he didn't fucking throw rocks at him. He called him a dumb nerd. It was like the most innocuous, like stupid thing you could do to someone, but also the correct thing to say.
Yeah,
the guy's a dumb nerd.
Yeah.
He for sure is.
Anyway, thanks for the voicemails, everybody. If you want to go ahead and leave your own, if you felt inspired by that, give us a call, 312-788-7361. Or you can always send us an audio file to thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com. If you want to support the show, throw us a few bucks over at patreon.com/thoughtcops. We got a whole backlog of great bonus content, and you can hang out here in the live chat with everybody and spam the turtle emoji if you wish. Greg, that was awkward. I almost called him Grant.
Oh, that would have been awkward.
Makes sense.
It's like when you're in bed, you call someone by the wrong name, whatever. Anyway, Greg, thank you for calling into the show.
Yeah, anytime, man. Thank you for having me.
This has been literally years in the making, so I'm glad it was like
For sure, this has been a while.
able to finally get it going.
Yeah, I can do it anytime now. I got the setup, so if you, just let me know.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely.
And if this virus ever ends, we can all do something, maybe.
That would be a great in-person guest appearance. We'll have to
that would
keep
be
that in
good. Yeah,
mind.
Truly.
Yeah, we'll have to make a list
dig
of
up Austin. We'll see what he's doing.
At 100%, yeah, definitely. Thanks everybody for listening.
And thank you
see
guys
you
for
next time.
See you, Space Cow.